Okay, so it's 10:31, so let's get started. I know, some of us maybe have just gotten out of bed in the last, couple hours, but we're gonna start on our backs, okay? Like Neil, you're almost there. Good job. Okay, and I want to mute all of us. Let's Okay, and then we'll get going here. If you haven't, let's see, trying to do this all in one. All righty. Okay. All right. So welcome. Again, my name is Rita, and I'm subbing for Elizabeth this morning. So we're on our backs. We start on our backs, and just come into just stretch out all the way. Get a nice stretch, and stretch your right hand, arm, right foot. Really get a nice stretch there along the right side of your body. Switch to your left side, left leg, foot, you're reaching out towards your toes, left arm, reaching out towards your fingertips. Alternate a few times here. Just get a nice stretch on each side of the body. Let's go ahead and do it on your own, maybe 3 more times. Good stretch. Okay, and then bend your knees and give your knees a hug. And then place your knees back on the ground, flat out, legs stretched again. And we're gonna do something called bellows pose. So it's gonna get to be a rhythmic, a little bit of a abdominal. At the same time stretching and opening up our legs and arms again. So take your hands overhead and then bring your right leg up and your arms, your hands, and just try to touch straight up. And then bend your right knee, give it a hug in towards your chest. Then extend both your foot and your hands, arms up, and then take your hands back, flex that right foot in the air, and alternate flex and point, and slowly bring that leg down, straight knee if possible, all the way to the ground. And then breath in, exhale, left leg up to the sky, arms try to reach. Maybe they're on your calf, maybe they're up here on your ankle. And then take your arms back and slowly make your way down, alternating flex and point with that left foot. And the third part of this is we're going to take both legs up, both arms up, and then open up with your arms to the back. This time, just flex your feet. No pointing going down, and just slowly take them down. Pin the pit of your belly in, engage those abdominals, and let's do we'll start over again now with the right. So arms up, right foot up, bend your knee, hug it into your chest, right foot up, arms up, open up, and just come down, pointing and flexing your right foot. And then repeat with your left. Left foot up, arms up to meet, arms back, and just slowly bring that foot down, flexing and pointing. And then both feet up, bend your knees, pull them into your chest for a nice hug, Feet go straight up, hands go overhead. Move those feet down with flexed. And let's do it one more time. Right leg up, right arm up, or both arms up. Hug your knee to your chest. Arms go back and alternating flex and point. Your leg comes down. And with your left foot. Good job. Okay, nice. And then both feet up. Okay, I like your background there, Emily. You're on the hills above the Golden Gate. Okay. Now, bring your knees to your chest and just make some wide circles with your knees. So you're on your back still, knees are bent, and just take your hands, hold on to each knee, wide circles, going one way. This is nice for the small of your back, massaging that area, the sacrum, and then reverse the direction. Then, now bring your feet down, knees bent, and you want your knees to be, or heel toe your feet to the outside edges of your mat. So knees are together. And take an inhale. And exhale and let your both legs fall to the left. Then take an inhale. And exhale, bring your legs up and over to the right. Inhale. Knees, your legs come up, your knee points come up to the ceiling, towards the ceiling. Feet are still on the floor, wide. And let your legs drop to the left. We're slowly opening our glutes here. Take a breath in, inhale up to center, and let your legs fall to the right. Knees come up and fall to the left and stay here. And we're going to open that right hip a little more. So bring your left foot up and let it rest on top of your right knee. And let the weight of that left foot and leg help to bring down your right knee a little further to the mat, and you'll feel a bigger stretch here, nice extension. Just stay with it for a bit. A couple breaths. And then release your left foot to the ground. And then take both legs up to center and let them fall to the right. And then take your left foot and place it over your right knee, thigh, and let the weight of that, take it to the right foot, your right leg, the leg that's down on the ground. And that's going to come over your left thigh and give you that nice extension, nice stretch. Let's see here. All right, some of you have disappeared on me, but that's okay. I know you're down there on the ground. All right, now toe heel your, release that left leg and bring your knees up and toe heel your feet to hip distance apart. And take your right leg up to the sky. And I'm going to turn this way so I can see a little better. So right leg up to the sky. And if you can reach your peace fingers around your big toe, or you can hold on to your calf, your ankle, and let that foot just slowly extend towards your right as far as it's comfortable for you. It's important to keep your left hip down flat on the mat. So use your left hand to kind of nudge your hip down if it's come off. And if it has come off, maybe you need to come up with that right foot a bit instead of extending further. You don't have to extend far. It doesn't have to go to the floor at all. Just let it come to your edge. And take a few breaths there. And then bring your leg up and bend your knee. Place it down on the ground. Right leg extended. Now do the same with your left. So left knee comes in. Foot extends to the sky. Take your peace fingers around your big toe or around your calf or your ankle and let that left leg fall open to the left. Again, remind your right hip to stay planted, rooted on the ground. Go to the open up as much as is comfortable for you. You can feel a nice stretch there. And then breath in and bring that leg up and bend and both legs extended in front of you. Now we're going to do a pigeon at this point. So just sit with your feet in front of you, bent in the middle of your mat. Your knees are bent, feet are planted firmly on the ground. And then take your right leg and place it on top of your left thigh, right about your knee. And be sure to have your ankle and foot extending to the left side off of the thigh. And you can flex your foot here. And then put your hands behind you. And you'll get some leverage here. And let your, walk your bottom up to meet your left foot, your left heel, as far as is comfortable for you. You'll feel an opening in your hamstring here. And this half pigeon is really great for people who have knee problems. I'm one of those people because I have problems with the regular one where the leg is extended behind. So come up as far as comfortable to the point of comfortable discomfort. We don't want anybody to be heroes here. Just feel that nice extension here. And breathe through a bit. Maybe with another breath or two, you might be able to come a little bit forward towards that foot. Your bottom comes forward. And it's important to try to keep a straight back because you don't want to cave like this. So use those arms behind you to get that leverage. And then release. And we'll do that with the left foot. So, so take your left foot, your right leg now is your foot is bent, your leg is bent, excuse me, your foot's on the mat, close to your bottom, as close as possible. And then take your left foot over so that your left foot and the ankle are extending off of your left or your right knee, and flex that foot. And then arms, hands to the back, fingers pointing towards the back of your room, palms flat. And then try to walk yourself up, your bottom up to meet that right heel as far as is comfortable.
Nice. Okay. Try not, the knees should be apart, so your shin should be parallel. Check that out. So it's like this rather than knees together. So if you can do this like so, rather than this, you'll get a nice deep stretch. Okay. And release. Come to tabletop in the middle of your mat. We'll do a few cat-cows here. So breath in, head comes up, belly sinks, tailbone goes up, and exhale into cat. Round your back, press your palms through the mat, and release your hair. Exhale, inhale, head comes up again, and your belly drops, tailbone goes up, maybe wiggle it a little bit, and then exhale into cat. Nice big arch of the back, or rounding of the back, excuse me. And again, deep breath in and into cow, and exhale into cat. Come to neutral position and just make some circles with those hips. Maybe a clockwise direction first, counterclockwise next, as wide as is comfortable for you. Some might find they're going almost all the way back to child's pose, and others might be just on hands and knees with the hips, on a tabletop with the hips circling. Okay, so while we're here on hands and knees, I want you to take your left foot back, and you're on the ball of your foot, your left foot that's back, and take a few forward and back here, just stretching out your calf. And then pivot that back foot, that left foot, so it's perpendicular, parallel to the back of your mat. And bring that left arm up to side plank, modified side plank. Creating a nice line of energy between your right palm that's planted on the mat and all the way through your shoulders, straight through to the tips of your left fingers that are outstretched to the sky. And if you like, you can raise that left foot up, or just stay with the foot on the ground. And try to open your chest. So you want to shine your chest forward and up, actually, to the ceiling. And maybe look to that left hand that's extended. And then bring that hand down to meet the other on the mat. And we'll do that with the right foot. So right foot back. And come forward and back on that right leg to the right heel, so that you're getting a nice stretch there in your calf muscles. And then pivot that right foot to be parallel to the mat. And lift up that right arm for modified side plank. And if you need more balance, if you decide to take that right foot up, you can always pivot that left foot, the foundation. You can pivot that foot backwards a bit to give you a broader foundation. Take your right arm up to the sky, creating that nice line of energy between fingertips of the left and through your shoulders and up to the right fingertips. And then take your hands down, both down to the mat, and sit your hips back into child's pose. So big toes are together and your knees are far apart to the edges of your mat, and then sit back. And if you're a person who has some knee problems, I like to put a block or a towel, something to create more space behind my knee. And just sit back here, arms extended in front of you. Get a nice, feel that nice stretch through your upper back. And just be here. And tuck your toes under into downward facing dog. And this is our first downward dog of the day, so let's pedal it out. Bending one knee and then the other. Stretch your tailbone up to the sky. Deep breaths in and out. And maybe wiggle your hips, just maybe let them go back left to right, just gently moving. Yeah. Nod your head. Yes, and shake it, pivot it, no, left to right. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, look to the front of your mat and step your feet up to meet your hands. And hold your elbow points with your opposite hand and just let your head and your arms be heavy, and just you can feel that nice forward fold, nice extension of your lower back here. Again, you can nod your head, yes, and pivot it, no, just getting your neck all loosened up, ready for our practice. And next exhale, inhale up to extended mountain. Arms reach up to the sky. Breathe in, breathe out. Really get your hands active. Your fingers are extended, open, and pinky fingers are turned in, rotated in. Oh, I feel a great stretch on both sides here. While our hands are up here and stretched, take your left hand and face it towards the left, your palm to the left side of your room, and take your right fingers and circle that left wrist and bring it back. Your right arm is gently tugging to create this nice stretch along your left side of your body. A few breaths here. And release. Arms are extended upward, and do the same with your right hand. So your right palm opens up, pivots to the right side of your room. Left fingers come over and circle your wrist, and gently pull your right arm overhead and to the side until you get that nice stretch on the right side of your body. All right, so let's release. Arms are up, extended mountain, and now we'll start to flow. So take a deep breath in. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Look for a nice flat back. And place your hands to the mat, and we're going to step your left foot back and your right. And let's check our high plank out here. So you're stacked, your elbows and shoulders are directly above the palms of your hand, your wrist, and your feet are, you're up on the balls of your feet. Head down, pit of the belly in, and just release yourself to the ground slowly. And come up to Cobra. And this, your Cobra could be, you know, you might just be a few inches above the ground. You can maybe try to push yourself up a little bit. Again, to do it to the extent that is comfortable for you. And then release. And push yourself up. Knees are involved here and back into downward facing dog. Nice exhale, inhale, exhale. Oh, feels good. And look to the front of your mat and walk your feet forward to meet your hands. And forward fold. Halfway lift, flat back, and forward fold, and back to extended mountain. Let's repeat that maybe another time or two. So look to the sky, you're in extended mountain. Exhale, forward fold. You might want to dive into it. Bend from the, hinge from the hips down. Halfway lift. Nice flat back. Extending from your hips to your head, the top of your head. And hands to the mat. Step your feet back into high plank. Breath in. Exhale down slowly. Your knees can come down first to the mat. And come up into Cobra. Some may want to go into upward facing dog. So it's just a little more of an extension. Knees are off the ground. And exhale into downward facing dog. And take a few breaths here. Okay, on your next exhale, walk your feet forward to meet your hands. Halfway lift. Forward fold. And sit back into chair. Okay, and stay. So this is a good time to check your feet. You want to have, what I like to do is lift my 10 toes and spread the 10 toes and plant them down on the mat. Really press. You get a good, nice foundation. And then working up your legs, you're going to keep bringing everything to center. So from the skin to the muscle, the bones, hug in tight. And tip your tailbone so that it's facing downward. And now bring your arms up if you haven't. If this is hard on your shoulders, cactus out your arms. And you'll get a nice extension here, a nice open chest. And release to the mat. So from here, we're going to go into, let's do a crescent lunge. So your hands are on your mat. Take your left foot back, like we did before. You're in a low lunge. You're on the ball, your left foot, you're on the ball of your left foot and back. And you can have your knee down or up. And then I like to come up to my thigh, just put my hands on my thigh and make sure I have a good foundation. And then if you can, to raise your arms up to crescent lunge. And hands to your heart. And we'll take a reverse, a twisted crescent. So plant your hands on the ground and just peel up that right arm So you create a nice line of energy from your hand that's on the ground, helping you to have that foundation. And look up to that right arm extended to the sky. And deep breath in to lengthen, and exhale to twist. A few more. Deep breath in. Try to look at your right hand extended to the sky, and release that hand to the mat. Now bring your left foot up to meet your right.
Okay.
Take a nice forward fold. Release all that breath. And then take your right foot back. And the right foot, you have a straight knee as much as possible. And you're on the ball of your foot, the back foot. Your knee is directly above that left ankle. And if you want to stay there, you can have your knee down or straighten up that back leg so it comes off the mat.
This is Crescent Lunge.
And
The back.
Oh, I'm sorry, I got to switch legs here. And
And the back leg.
you can raise that right arm up.
It's very hard. It's
Actually, raise both
down.
things, sorry. You're going to be in Crescent Lunge,
And then
either on the knee or extended up with a straight leg. And then we're going to take a revolved crescent. So you can plant that right hand on the mat next to the inside of your left foot and twist open towards the left side of your mat. Feel that nice line of energy. And look up at your left hand to the sky if possible. And again, you can be on your knee doing this. Hands to the mat. Bring your right foot forward to meet the left. Forward fold. And come back to Thunderbolt or chair. Okay, from here we're going to go into Thunderbolt prayer twist. So you're in your chair, hands to heart center, and then deep breath in. Exhale, open to the twist to the right. So your left elbow is on the outside of your right knee. Getting some good leverage there to twist open. And then if you like, you can open your arms or just stay there in prayer, prayer hands to heart center. Take a deep breath in to lengthen and exhale to twist. And release your hands to the mat. Open your feet to hip distance apart, and that's about the distance of 2 fists. And then take these fingers and circle your big toes. Take a breath in for halfway lift, and exhale to forward fold. Your elbow points come out to the sides of your room, and just feel that nice opening of the small of your back. Nice. All right. And then bring your feet back, your toe heel, your feet back to center, toes touching. And go back into Thunderbolt chair. And hands to heart center. Deep breath in. Exhale to twist. This time your right elbow hooks around to the outside of your left knee. And you can stay here. Deep breath in. Exhale to twist a little more. And if you'd like, you can open your arms. Keep those knees directly above your toes, not going forward any more than that. And hands to heart center, release to the floor, and open your feet again to hip distance apart.
And this time we're going to do gorilla. So take the your open palms, place them underneath the soles of your feet so that your toes are right in the crease of your wrists. And take a breath in. Exhale to forward fold. And you might have your upper torso resting on your thighs. And give your thumb joints there, the base of the thumb, and the rest of your palm a nice massage with those feet. And then toe heel your feet together again. And from here, we're going to go into Malasana. So spread your, let's see, take your feet apart a little bit to the sides of your mat, maybe a little beyond. And then we're going to bend our knees, hands to heart center, and just sink to a level that is comfortable for you. I'm kind of at this point. Some of you might be lower. Depends on flexibility, knee problems, and all those kinds of things. And then you can take your elbows and leverage them to open your knees a little bit more, and you'll feel a greater groin stretch. And I see some of you are moving left to right a little bit, if you'd like. You can have your hands to the ground too. And that helps to give you some support if it's too challenging. You still can get a nice stretch. Okay, so at this point, we're going to go back into downward facing dog. And take your hands, walk your hands back to your feet at this point. And you're at the back of your mat. And come up to extended mountain. And we're going to do some balance poses. This is the equanimity portion of our practice this morning. So, right arm.
Excuse me for interrupting, but not everybody is mute.
Let's see. Okay,
Yeah,
thank you.
A few people that aren't. It's a little distracting.
Okay, great. Thank you. Let's see, unmute everybody. Okay. Thank you so much. All right. I think we have everybody muted now. Nope. Okay. All right. So we're extended mountain. And let's begin our eagles for today. So right arm comes under the left. And bend your knees. Get a nice solid foundation here. Lift the 10 toes, spread the 10 toes. Knees are together and thighs are zipped up. Take your right foot over, and it's okay to use your right foot as a kickstand if you need to. Happens to me all the time. And try to raise your elbow points up to your shoulder height. And it also helps if you're in total balancing on one foot, your left foot rooted to the ground, to flex that right foot. Seems to help to get the balance. And then release. Extended mountain. And this time left arm under, bend your knees, and left foot over the right thigh. And try to get those elbow points up. Release. We'll do it one more time. Right arm under. Right leg over. And try to extend your tailbone to the ground. Straighten your back. Lift those elbow points up. Gaze through your forearms. And release. And left arm under, left leg over, and nice twisty gaze. Help you center yourself
and release. So we're going to do now a sort of a flow of balance poses. So we're going to do that as a standing leg raise. So left hand is on your hip. Bend your right knee and reach out, hold your right knee with your right hand. Catch your balance, zip everything into the center. And slowly open it to the right. Again, it helps to have your foot engaged, so flex that right foot if you can. And once you're there, you can open your left arm to the left, palm up. And you might gaze towards that. Helps to have a wall behind you. If you fall out of it or come out of it, just start again. So, and then bring everything to center and take that foot out, the right foot forward. Hands are to your side, palms are open, and tip forward into airplane. Again, now your palms are facing down. Perhaps your shoulders are pinned back. Your gaze is a little further than it's towards the ground, but a little further than your feet. So the crown of your head is forward. And release that and step forward with your left foot. We'll come into tree, your version of tree. So you can take your right foot to the inside of your left calf, or some of you can do the all the way up into the left thigh. And then root down with that left foot. And hands to heart center. And grow your tree. And it's okay to have that right foot come down as a kickstand. Perhaps it's your toes are on the ground, the rest of your foot's on that left ankle. That's okay. Stretch up. I like to clasp my fingers, my hands up there interlaced. And release. And now step to the back of your mat again, and we'll start with the leg raise, standing leg raise, this time on the left. So right hand goes on your hip, left hand comes up, left hand holds your left knee, root down, zip up, everything to the center for your balance, and then slowly open that left leg to the left side. And extend your right arm out, palm up to the right. And challenge, extra challenge, you can try to look there towards the right. And bring everything to center. Take a step forward with that left foot. Hands to the side, arms to the side, open palms, and lift your right leg back to airplane. And bring your hands to your hips. Take a step forward with the right foot and come into tree, this time with your left leg. Hands to heart center. You can stay here if you like, or you can grow your tree, your branches upward, and really get a nice extension. Zipping all to the center. Maybe look up at your branches. Maybe open your branches. And hands to heart center. And release. So let's go into extended mountain. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Hands to the mat. And take your left foot back, this time into warrior 2. But if that's a problem for your hamstrings here, make it a shorter stance. So in this one, your left foot, the one in the back of your mat, is parallel to the back of your mat. Your knee is rooted over, it's right over your right heel. Both arms are extended evenly, front to back. And let's take, we're going to take a triangle here. So I know that's difficult for some of us. So again, shorten up your stance a bit. Or just stay in warrior 2. Okay, so straighten your right knee, the front knee. Tip your hips towards the back of your mat, towards the left side of you. And then reach all the way through your front arm as far as you can. And then come down to the ground with that right palm. And we're in triangle. With your breath in, you can extend, you can open up your chest even more. If you can, look at the top of the left fingertips. Breath in and out. And then bend that right knee. Let your left hand bring you up back to warrior 2. And now pivot your front toes to the side of the mat. So both feet are facing the side of your mat. And we're going to go into the side facing wide legs forward fold. So take your hands to your hips, take a breath in, and I'll do this sideways. Breath in, elbow points back, look to the ceiling, and exhale slowly forward, hinging at the hips, flat back, and then you can place your hands on the floor in line with your toes. And there's a tendency to kind of rotate back a little bit, sit back. If that's the case, then just gently move your weight, shift your weight a little forward towards the balls of your feet, but your heels are still on the ground. And let your head be heavy, your drishti gaze through your legs to the point behind you. And deep breath in to halfway lift, hands to your hips, come up, flat back, and pivot that foot, the right foot forward. Good opportunity to lift your 5 toes on that foot and spread those 5 toes and really press them down into the mat. And bring your left foot up and to the side a little bit. So you have a wide stance. And we're going to now take a deep breath in and exhale over that right leg as far as is comfortable for you into pyramid. Hands can be on the mat. Deep breath in and out. And we can do a twisting triangle here. It probably will help for those of you having a hamstring problem to, maybe bend your knee a bit, not have it so straight. And then just open up to the right of your room. Right arm goes up to the sky. Breath in and exhale to twist and release to the ground, both hands. Okay, so from here, let's bring your left foot up to meet your right and send your right foot back. I think, is that right? I think we are there. Right foot back. So your left foot is forward on your mat. And come up into warrior 2. So check your foundation. You can get a wider stance. You might be able to get this left thigh a little more parallel to the ground. Your drishti gaze over those front fingertips. And we'll come into triangle. So straighten that left knee and slide your hips to the right, to the back. Reach forward with your left, down to the mat with that left hand, or a block, or your calf, whatever's comfortable for you. And your right arm is straight up to the sky. Let your left knee bend and your right arm help to bring you up. Straighten that left knee and tip your left feet towards the side of the mat. And we're going to do that forward, that wide leg straddle forward fold. So this time, take your hands behind you if it feels good and interlace your fingers. And again, pin your shoulder blades back. Nice expanded chest. Take a deep breath in, look up to the sky, and exhale over, hinge at the hips, flat back, coming down to forward fold. And see where your hands take you, your arms, your extended arms. Only go as far as is comfortable for you. All right. All right, so take a deep breath in, halfway lift. Hands can stay clasped behind you or come to your hips and come all the way up. And this time, our left foot forward. It's take all of the 5 toes in that left foot and lift them and open them up. Open the toes and place them down flat on the mat. Really hug the mat, all 4 corners of your feet, both feet, the one in the back as well. And we're going to go into pyramid. So that right foot forward a bit and to the side, wide stance. Deep breath in, elbow points back, look to the ceiling, and exhale, forward fold over your left leg. And hands can come to the floor. And take a few breaths here. And then if you like to take the revolve triangle, open up to the left side of your room. That left arm goes up to the sky. Nice job using that the block there. Good job. Okay, deep breath in and then exhale to maybe rotate even more. And release both hands to the mat. Take that left foot back, and we're going to come back into downward facing dog. A few breaths here. And bring your knees down. Sit back into child's pose. And then just come and lay down on your mat. We're going to do some back exercises here, back openers. So, shake down, arms to the side. Take your hands to the lower ribs and just push up. And this can be upward dog. And then bring your hands, your elbow points forward into Sphinx. So your elbows, your forearm, your hands are planted. Fingers are pointing straight ahead to the top of your mat. And just sit here a bit, contemplating perhaps the pyramids, great pyramids. And just look forward, soft gaze, breathe in. If you'd like to take this a little further for your back, a back arch, you can straighten your elbows, come up a little further, into that back, the back muscles. And release. And press again, elbows to the ribs, and press up into downward facing dog. And then bring your knees to the center of your mat for camel. So on this, so we're standing on our knees, as straight posture as possible. Roll your shoulders back and down, and hands to the back, your hips. And I like to imagine that I have a pair of jeans on, and I'm putting my hands in my back pockets. So I'm going to tilt my tailbone down, and the pit of the belly comes in and up, a nice pelvic tilt. And then look up and extend your chest. Let your head come back if it feels okay to you. And if some of you feel like it, you can come back to your heels of your feet. Try to keep that chest shining upward. And release. And now just come to a seated position. We're going to do a couple bridges. So lay down and bring your heels to a point that you can softly touch them with your fingertips. And then deep breath in, and everything's going to come up. So come up. Feel like there's a string pulling your torso up towards the sky. I like to curl my shoulders under and interlace my fingers underneath me. It seems to help me to get a nicer, a better foundation. Excuse me. And then try to bring your knees together into as far as possible. So they tend to splay to the side, but pretend that you have a block between your knees. You're squeezing everything. And then release. And we'll do that one more time. Breath in, lift up. Again, imagine you're being pulled up to the sky, maybe even a little further this time. Press your knees towards each other and release. And take your knees in for a nice big hug, and then place them on the ground, your feet, and let your knees splay open into Supta Baddha Konasana, reclined butterfly. And just sit here a bit. You can wiggle around your, I like to just sort of wiggle a bit here. Really sort of massage that small of my back, the sacrum. And you can bring your knees together and your feet up to the sky, flexed feet. Hold on to the sides of your feet and just come here into happy baby. You can stay still, or perhaps you like to rotate, massage your small of your back even more. And release your legs to the straight up to the sky. We're going to do a little bit more abdominal work. Not much, because we did some in the beginning of our practice. So put your hands underneath your hips. So have a nice little pillow. And we're going to have our feet extended to the sky. And we're just going to paint the ceiling with our feet as wide as possible. So circles, maybe clockwise and then counterclockwise, into circles that are the wideness of it depends on your level of comfort. Of course, the bigger your circles are, the more you'll get for an abdominal work. And let's try going forward and back. So feet go almost to the ground, back behind you. Your hips lift off the ground a bit, forward and back, and forward and back. And now bend your knees, and we're going to do a couple forward rock and rolls up to Navasana, boat pose. So I like to do 3, 1, 2, and 3. And you can press your hands next to your thighs. It kind of helps to be connected. Or you can have your hands stretched in front of you. And try to keep your back a nice straight spine. So you're not caving in. That's a big challenge for me. And release. And then we'll do a few more extensions before we get into our rest. So take your legs in front of you, straight, and lift your flesh of your bottom out, so you're really sitting on your sit bones. Take your hand up, nice stretch, and take a breath in. Release and fall forward as far as is comfortable for you. You might be holding onto your calves, your ankles, your feet. If you have a strap nearby, you can wrap it around your feet and pull a little bit more to get yourself into a deeper forward. This is like a forward fold, seated forward fold. Feet are flexed and head forward, which is comfortable. And maybe your elbows come down to the ground. And come back up. And we're going to take some kind of inversion. So if you have a block, you might want to do a hips on a block. The idea is to get your hips a little higher than your heart. So you want all your blood, everything to flow downward. So you can also do it against a wall. And you can also do a shoulder stand. So let's take that and enjoy this feeling of everything coming back to our heart center. And if you are in a shoulder stand, you might go into plow, where your feet come overhead and touch the ground behind your head. And remember not to turn your head when you're in these positions. Just a soft, drifty gaze forward, up to the sky. And you can come out of that very gently. Let your hips come back to the ground. If you have a block under you can remove that. And let's take one more set of twists before we come into our Shavasana. So take your knees to your chest and let them gently fall to the left. And open up your right arm towards the right. And you want to have both shoulders on the ground. And if you like, you can take your top leg, hold on to your big toe with your peace fingers and extend that leg straight to the side. And release. And bring both knees up to the sky. And let them fall gently to the right. You can stay here. Remember to get your shoulders both on the ground. You can look to the left arm that's extended, and you can take that your left toe into your, hold it with your fingertips, your peace fingers, and extend it to get a further stretch in the glute. And release. And find a position for Shavasana that is good for you. So you can be flat on your back, feet gently apart. I like to really get my shoulder blades pinned to the back towards the spine. Nice foundation or pillow for my chest to open up. And hands to your sides, palms open. If you like, if you like the hips on a wall, you can also go back to that. That's a nice way to enjoy Shavasana. And we'll be here for a little while. Just being, eyes closed. Get in touch with your breath. And I'm going to read a little poem to you. It reminded me of today with the clouds and so on that we're having. It's called Mind Wanting More. Only a beige slat of sun above the horizon, like a shade pulled not quite down, otherwise clouds. Sea rippled here and there, birds reluctant to fly. The mind wants a shaft of sun to stir the gray porridge of clouds, as osprey to stitch the sea to the sky with its striped wings. Some dramatic music, a symphony perhaps, a Chinese gong. But the mind always wants more than it has. One more bright day of sun. One more clear night in bed with the moon. One more hour to get the words right. One more chance for the heart in hiding to emerge from its thicket in dried grasses. As if this quiet day, with its tentative light, weren't enough. As if joy weren't already strewn all around. The author is Holly Hughes. I'll leave you here for a few minutes of deep rest. Okay, start to wiggle your feet and your wrists. And touch each finger with your thumb index finger, middle finger, ring finger, pinky finger, circles with your wrist. Come back into your body. Roll to a comfortable side and pause. Fetal position. Take a few breaths. And then come up to a seated position. Hands to heart center. Thank you all for joining in today. Hands to third eye. The light in me sees and honors and thanks each of you. Namaste.